to Tuesday's Technology Tip. Today we have with us Miss Farrah Stewart. Farrah is from Chapman High School and she teaches world history. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So she has found this really cool resource. I first heard about it at Chapman High School and that she was the one using it, and so I went and visited, asked her to come and share this. It is called Gimkit. That's Gimkit. And it has a very interesting story about it. So first of all, tell us about this story and how Gimkit got started.
Gimkit was started by a high school junior in Seattle, Washington. He created it for a school project and hoped he could get maybe 10 teachers in his school to use this game as part of their instruction. And since then, that was last year, he's a senior now. And since then, I know it's all over the United States. I think some use worldwide even. So he has, as you might imagine, delayed his college plans and plans to work on this game.
Very interesting. That is a cool story about how it was developed by a student. So if you have those aspirations of creating games, take to heart what he has done and check out his story, because it is located on the website, the Gimkit.
It is, the Gimkit website, and there's a lot of information on the Gimkit Twitter feed.
Okay, so how did you discover Gimkit?
I actually found out about Gimkit on Twitter. I have a professional Twitter that I like a lot of people in the education community, and I saw a post about it one day and got curious and researched it a little bit.
Okay, so there's our shout out for Twitter. There are many educational finds on Twitter.
Twitter's wonderful.
So I'm glad to hear that that's how you discovered that. So how have you used Gimkit with your students?
Well, I tried it out the first day, and I was, guys, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm old. Technology is not my thing. Y'all are going to have to help me out. But I had made a game, and I said, we're just going to try it. We're just going to give it a shot. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. And they loved it. The energy in my classroom that day was fabulous. I invited other teachers in later in the day and said, you've got to see this game. These kids love it. They get excited about it. Sort of the way they did Kahoot in the beginning, but now Kahoot's kind of old school and they need something else. So Gimkit is the next step.
Okay, so as far as the ease of use or the complications, how would you describe that part?
I think it's very easy to use. Like I said before, I'm kind of old. Technology is not easy for me. It doesn't come as second nature. But this game was easy to put together. Very much like Kahoot in terms of the platform where you enter the questions and that sort of thing.
And what grade levels would you say Gimkit's geared toward?
I think you could use it with any grade level because there's even a picture option, whereas, if you're doing in the early grades like word recognition, you could use Kahoot for that. I think for the younger grades, you might want to get rid of some of the hurtful power-ups. There's some power-ups in the game where you can hurt, say, the player in the lead, and it's a strategy thing. You might want to turn off those power-ups for the younger grades, but I think any grade could use it.
So is there anything else you want to mention prior to sharing the tutorial with us about Gimkit?
Give it a try and let your kids enjoy it. Let your kids play around with the power-ups. Let them see what it's like to ice another student and, let them not play for 20 seconds. Or see what it's like to earn $20, $30, $50 for each question you get right. Wouldn't it be nice if it was real money?
So this sounds like Kahoot on steroids with the
That's
power-ups.
a really good way to describe it, right?
Okay.
Yes. Just that extra component that makes it that much more exciting and ups the level of competition.
All right. So at this time, Miss Stewart is going to share a screencast with us. This is an actual tutorial of how to get started using Gimkit.
Today I'm going to show you how to set up and play Gimkit in your classroom. When you first log into your Gimkit account, you will be on your dashboard, as shown by this blue button in the top right corner. Your dashboard is home to your question banks. These are referred to as kits. It's also where you can create assignments and where you can create classes. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is create a kit or a question bank. So you'll click New Kit right here, which will take you to this page. You'll name your kit. My next unit is Enlightenment. And you can either upload a spreadsheet using the CSV option. You can upload a Quizlet set that you've already made, a study set that you find in Quizlet or one that you have made. However, I most often do mine from scratch. So we'll go that route. And I'll show you how to set one up. Now, these are not the right kind of enlightenment covers. So I'm going to try another search and use, here we go, a little Mel Gibson. So then you'll go here, you'll look at this page, go down here and add question. So you type your question in here. And then you're going to type in your answers. You see that the correct answer goes right here in your first box every time. And then you put in your other answers. Now my answers are here as choices because I've done several takes on this screencast, and they're saved in there. You will actually have to type in the answers each time. Now, you can also add an image. I think in foreign language this would be particularly useful. Or maybe if you're using, doing some things with symbols in math or science, you can upload an image or you can paste a link to an image. And then that image will show up on the screen when the students get the question. Once you're finished, you'll click Add Question. And you can continue by clicking this button, adding more and more questions to your kit. For the sake of this example, I'm going to go ahead and click Create Kit. And there it shows up in your kit bank. Okay, now I want to show you how to play a kit. I'm going to go to Black History Month, and we are going to set up this kit to play. Every time you get ready to play a kit, you'll see a page like this. You choose between team mode, where you can choose even the size of your teams, or classic mode. Students compete individually here in classic mode. There is a way for you to do a cooperative learning experience where all of your class is working toward an ultimate collective cash goal. I use this when I introduce the game to a class so that they can learn the ins and outs without being quite so competitive for them. If you have time at the end of class, let's say you have 5 minutes left in class, you can choose to use 3 minutes of that playing this game. At the end of 3 minutes, the player with the most money wins the game. Or most often, I end up playing race. This is what my students enjoy. And you set a cash goal for your students to reach. Then I'll show you how to set up a class in a minute, but once you have set up your classes, you just select a class to have play. And then the students will choose their names from a drop-down menu rather than type in their individual names. You can choose starting cash or no starting cash. It's entirely up to you. And you can, because students earn money for answering questions correctly, and they also lose money for answering questions incorrectly, you might want to set an amount here as a handicap amount, saying, I'm not going to let my students go below -20. I like to leave the answer check option on so that the players can see the correct answer after they answer incorrectly. I think that helps with their learning. I typically play with the music and the clapping off because I think those create distractions. The clapping doesn't occur until the end of the game, so it doesn't disrupt during the game. And then you get to your power-ups. As you earn money in this game for answering questions correctly, you can buy power-ups. Power-ups give you special powers, like perhaps you might buy a power-up where you can get $10 or $20 per question rather than one or $2 or $3. You can buy a power-up that takes away some of your answer choices, maybe 2 of your answer choices, to help you make that decision on a correct answer. So you're going to want to play with the power-ups and the themes. You may want to use clean power-ups only. I typically turn this off and allow some of the power-ups in the game that hurt other players. You may want to target the player in the lead by, say, buying some ice and freezing their computer for 20 seconds so they can't play. You may want to target the player in the lead by applying a reducer that reduces the amount of money they get per question. There are also ways that if you are the player in the lead, you can buy insurance that keeps you from getting hurt or shields against certain negative power-ups. But like I said, if you want to play with only the helpful power-ups, just click that button and it will work that way. Once you finish filling out this form, you'll click Continue, and it will take you to a page that looks like this. Once you reach this page, you'll instruct your students to go to gimkit.com/play and enter the code 36477. Their names will then populate this space right here. Once all of your students have chosen their name from the drop-down menu and logged into the game, you'll click Start Game. The students will see game questions, and your screen will be the leaderboard for who's ahead in the game. I want to go back to my dashboard and show you a couple of other things. Okay. Down here, you can create classes. It's really quickly. You just click New Class. You put in a name of a class. You put in the names of the students in that class, and then click Create Class. I just use first names because I think it's easier. You have to have classes created to be able to make assignments. Then if you want to make an assignment, you click New Assignment. I'm going to choose to assign the Renaissance kit. I'm going to make it due on the 28th. And I'm going to assign it to first block. Then you can select the target cache, the starting cache, the handicap, just like you do in the classroom game, and click Create Assignment. You can share that assignment on Google Classroom. You can share that assignment through a link. And then as the students complete it, their little flag will turn green, and you will get a bar that shows their accuracy as they complete it. One of the best features of this game is this formative assessment tool. For every time you play a game in class, you get some statistics that you can share or use in your instruction. You get statistics for the whole class on each question, how many got it correct, how many times was it incorrect, so that you can guide your reteaching. And you also get those same statistics for every student. So you will be able to see how many questions and which questions each student missed so that you can redirect your learning. That's just a real quick overview of how to play Gimkit. I hope you'll try it in your classroom, and I hope your students love it as much as mine do.
As you can see, Gimkit is a very fun yet beneficial tool for students. Miss Stewart has become an expert in Gimkit, and she's more than glad to answer any questions that you might have. We hope that you have a great week, and we want to encourage you to give Gimkit a try.